Hi, this is Diana Sescolini, and this is for my San Bernardino Valley payroll accounting class. This is what I consider a chapter lecture video. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually use the PowerPoints and talk from the PowerPoints. So just so you know, I'm going to park myself. I'm up here in the corner in the little picture here so you can see. And so I'm going to actually go over each chapter and I'll break it into small videos. The videos are usually not more than 3 to 4 minutes long because I want to make sure that you don't get bored with them. So first chapter we're going to talk about, this is going to be chapter 1, video 1. It's going to talk a little bit about the need for payroll and personnel records and why it's so important. So we're going to start talking about this. And again, I'm not going to read from the PowerPoint, but I will tell you information I know. Okay, so just the payroll professional itself, just want you to know, here are the salary ranges that someone in payroll can make. So payroll can actually be a very lucrative business to be in. You can actually make some good money on that. Now, one thing about payroll is there is a code of ethics sets that you really have to be very ethical and you have to follow these directions. And so here are the code of ethics for payroll. Because you understand, if you're working for an individual company and you're the payroll person, you know everything about everybody as far as how much they make, things that might be going on in their life that they don't want other people to know. So these are called the APA Code of Ethics. I'm not going to read them all, but you can actually take your time and look through them. Now, let me explain. Payroll is probably one of the most difficult jobs of a business or a corporation. So if you ever choose to be a small business or want a small business, I highly suggest farming out your payroll to an outside service because there are so many laws that affect payroll. And we're going to talk about just a handful of them right now. There's so many laws that if you accidentally don't pay somebody when you should pay them, you could be fined for quite an amount of money. So I'm not going to cover them all, but we're going to start with what we call Fair Labor Standards Act, FLSA. This talks about minimum wages. There's a FICA. This is the amount of, these are the taxes that come out of your paycheck for Social Security, Medicare. Income tax withholding. So you'll have FIT for federal, SIT for state. Unemployment Tax Act. So you, the employer, pay unemployment tax. The employee doesn't pay anything. And then there's Fair Employment Laws. And I'm not big on memorizing this stuff. The Civil Rights Act of '64, age discrimination, and the ADA. And there's so many other laws and federal and state laws that you really need to pay attention to. So let's get started. I'm just going to cover probably just a couple of them before I stop this video. First one we're going to look at is the FLSA. It's minimum wage, and this was, I believe, as of 2020. Minimum wage, federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Okay, it states equal pay for equal work provisions, and it requires, the key is it requires payroll records have to be maintained, and we'll talk about that a little bit more in the next video. So this is the end of video number 1. Video number 2, we'll start up with FICA, F-I-C-A, and chapter 1.